What's up, everybody? My name is Jason Turley. Today we are back with more Over-the-Wire Leviathan challenges. You can see here I got my SSH command loaded up, ready to go. Connect to this port 2223. Enter, copy in the password that we got at the end of the last video. And we're in clear my screen, ls tech al, see what's in this directory. There's a .trash folder. Examine that, ls, we see a bin, set UID executable, we run it, and it prints out a bunch of zeros and ones. What if I run ltrace on this? We see that it calls fopen, that stands for file open etc leviathan pass leviathan 5 in read mode, and then it exits. Okay, so this series of zeros and ones, these is binary, right? It's probably the representation of the level 5 password, and we need to convert it to ASCII, to text that we use in the keyboard, something we're familiar with every day. So how can we do that? There's a few ways, but what stands out to me immediately is we can use Python. Let's start with this first byte as an example. I can call it int. Let me zoom in a bit more. Int, paste that in, and then 2 for base 2, and I get the number 84. Cool. What can I do with that? Well, there's something called an ASCII chart, an ASCII table, where it will convert the decimal representation into the actual character. So 84, if I can scroll and zoom in, see right here, 84 in decimal correlates to T. So the first letter of the password begins with a T. So I can say, how can I do that in Python, right? CHR and then 84, and we get a T. So there's a bunch of, if I scroll up here, there's a bunch of bytes, right? I don't want to manually do int and then CHR on it. That's going to take way too long. And we're programmers and we're hackers. We like to automate things. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to create a new window in tmux. And then I'm going to open up level4.py. We can make a script. So user bin and Python 3 bytes. We paste in the byte string. Now I want to iterate across all of those. So I can say for b and bytes.split, split on the space. So this is going to make it into an array. We want to do something. D for decimal goes int of the current byte, base 2. And then we'll say C equals CHR of D. Or maybe I'll make this a little better. I'll just call this letter or character. I'll call this digit. It's good to use accurate variables when you name things. And then I'll just print out character and say end equals nothing. Save this. Let's run it. Python 3 level4.py, and we get the password tif for Koki. Copy this, go over here and paste it in. Exit out. Now SSH is Leviathan 5, and paste in the password for this guy. Clear the screen, ls tech al, see what's in the directory. We get Leviathan 5, another set UID binary. It's a very common theme in these challenges. So let's run it as it is. Cannot find temp/file.log. Okay, let's run ltrace on this. Bang bang to rerun my last command. That same fopen command So it's looking for something called temp file.log in read mode, and it can't find it. What happens if I create that file? Let's say echo please sub into temp file.log. Now let's rerun this with ltrace. Ooh. That's ugly. Let's just rerun it. Smash that up arrow as it is. Cannot find it. Echo Leviathan 5. Okay, so it prints out our file. If I run it again, it says I cannot find it. That's very weird. So let's create that file. Now let's rerun it through ltrace. And let's see what's happening. So it opens our file, f get c, so it gets the character p, and then l. So it's just getting each character one by one, and then it prints it with put a char. And then we see right here at the bottom, unlink. What does unlink mean? Unlink. Call the unlink function to remove the specified file. Okay, so it prints out our file and then it immediately deletes it. How can we take advantage of this to get the level 5 password? Well, if it just prints out a file, let me do this real quick. So it's running as Leviathan 6. So I want to print out their password file. But it's looking for something called temp.log, right? So how can I make their password file the same as temp file.log? Well, I can use a symbolic link. ln tech s, the name of the file I want to link. So in this case, etsy leviathan pass leviathan 6, and link that to file.log. If I do ls tech l on temp file.log, we see that it just points to Leviathan 6 password, which is what we want. So now when I run this, it's going to follow this link, print out etsy Leviathan pass 6, and then remove it. So that's how we get the password for that level. Store it here for easy access, exit out, and now let's do the same thing for Leviathan 6. Log in with SSH. Clear my screen, ls tech al, list everything. Okay, another set UID binary, Leviathan 6, and then a 4-digit code. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wrong. Okay. 44444. Wrong. Alright, so I need to enter a specific 4-digit code. Can I use ltrace to spy on it? 4444. Maybe there's a string compare. ASCII to integer, and then we get a bunch of hex addresses, and then it just prints wrong. Okay, so I could decode these addresses, right? That's one approach. Let me run strings on this to see if I can snoop on this process to see if it reveals any ASCII. Maybe there's the digit is just hard coded in there. Let me pipe that to less so I can actually see it. Okay, business H, wrong. We're looking for a 4-digit number. Did we see anything? No. Let me look up the man page for A2I. Maybe that will help us. Convert a string into an integer. Let me go back here. ltrace. Why are there 4 arguments? That's weird. I'm not sure. The man page tells us that there's 1 argument, and this tells us that there's 4 arguments. Let's fire up GDB. So we can debug this. Set disassembly flavor intel for a cleaner syntax, and then let's look at the main function. All right. When I do this, I look at the function calls first. So we see there's a call to printf, there's a call to exit. Here's our A to I, our ASCII to integer. So I'm most interested in these values right here. We see add 4, move this, subtract 12. I'm going to set a breakpoint. Let me keep going actually. Is there a string compare anywhere? I don't see it. Let me call a breakpoint on the ASCII to integer function. Run it, 4-digit code, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say examine 16 words as hex from the stack. Okay, we see this address. What is this? Copy it. Can I examine it as a string? Does it like that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is our argument. This is what we entered. Then we get 0. That's probably standard input, you know, where we typed in. 0 is input, 1 is output, and 2 is error. And then we get these 2 other addresses. Let's just copy them out. Okay, that looks like garbage. And so does this. So I did x/s for examine. Examine as a string. Can I do examine as word? Is there any way I can make you a decimal? Okay, I see this comparison call. So compare something in the EAX with minus OX12 from the base pointer. Let me set a breakpoint right here. Clear the screen. B star there. Breakpoint 2. Hit C to continue. It stops at the next breakpoint. Let me IR, inspect register, EIP, okay, this, okay, I see him right here now. Let me print out this value. What am I comparing myself to, right? What's in EAX? IREAX, does this work? All right, so EAX has a value hex 4D2, which is just 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what we entered. And it's being compared to something EBP minus OXC. Does this syntax even work? No. Can I examine it as a string? Examine word as hex 1BD3. Let me copy this. Open up a new window, Python 3, 7123. Go back here, Q, yes, clear the screen, rerun, enter 4-digit code, 7123. And we get our shell. ID, where am I? Leviathan 7. Let's make this a better shell. Python text C for compile. Import pty.spawn bin bash. There we go. Now I have tab complete, so I can say Leviathan 7. And we get the password just like that. A quick recap. This was a little bit sloppy. I used GDB, the GNU debugger, so I could look at each instruction, each opcode of the Leviathan 6 binary. And I saw that there was a comparison call right here. It compares EAX, which is just a register, it's just a variable, with this other register. I did IREAX to inspect the value that we entered, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I fumbled my way through to see what it was being compared to. And we see that it's being compared to the value hex 1BD3. No clue what that is in decimal, so that's why I used Python to convert it for me. So the magic number was 7123. That was a doozy. That was a lot of fun. I'm going to end it there for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Just kidding. We're back. I forgot that there's one last level to solve. The last level, SSH, into Leviathan 7, and we'll paste in their password. Enter. Clear my screen. LS. Congratulations. All right, cool. We did it. We won. We solved all the levels, all the challenges for Leviathan. Let's cat this out. Well done. You seem to have used a Nix system before. Now try something more serious. Thank you.